Okay, so now there's a lot of American energy resources in this country that are untapped, right? Whether it's natural gas, oil, whether it's coal. There's also a lot of minerals in this country and other resources in this country that are just not being used, not being tapped. You've been talking about this lately about getting these onto what you're calling the national balance sheet. Can you explain that for us? What is a national balance sheet and what's out there that we're not using?
Well, America's balance sheet is massive, but I would say that most Americans, you get through a 4-year election cycle, even if you're not a huge student of politics, you've heard more than once or twice or 10 times that we have $36.5 trillion of debt. I mean, it's in advertisements. We hear it. And I would invite anybody here from the media side is do what I did when I was going through my Senate hearings, and when I would, first time I lived or worked in DC, was anybody I met that was in a position of authority or experience, I said, what's our debt? $36.5 trillion. What are our assets? I mean, I challenge anybody to go try to find a current balance sheet for the United States of America. And if you come up with one, it might be some financial assets. But I can tell you, as the head of Interior, where we have, just in Interior, we've got 500 million acres of surface. Brooke Rollins has another 200 million in the U.S. Forest Service and U.S. grasslands. So 700 million acres of surface. There's 700 million acres of subsurface that we have, the mineral rights, critical minerals, oil and gas, metallurgical and thermal coal resources. And there's 2.5 billion acres of offshore, many of which have not been even explored, all of which represent huge assets for us. So if you take our forests, our lands, our grasslands, our lands that are near urban areas, our mineral resources, our offshore resources, I think the number is what? Is it double, triple what our national debt is? It could be 100 trillion. And as I've talked with Scott Besson, if we had published our balance sheet, or America's balance sheet, and said, our assets are triple what our debt is, that just announcement might lower the 10-year rate on interest rates, because people say, wow, these guys got it covered, and they have a plan on how they're going to be able to pay down this debt, and they're actually in really good shape.